I'm very happy that it's a 14th edition, right, for Music Matter? 13th edition. In 13th edition, finally it's happened. I'm waiting for the 13 years. Every time, go to Music Matter and ask Jaspers, let's make a blockchain panel. Let's make blockchain panel. 13 years later, Jasper told me, I'm ready. Yes. So we start in 2018 with a blockchain panel. So please remember this, because this will be a revolutionary year. We start finally, and we hope next 13 years will be every year will be with blockchain panel. And let me introduce our panelist, Max. Oh, please come. I will tell. Yeah. Please sit and. I will little bit introduce first of all about the blockchain. You know, they're all in this world in cycles, going up and down, and winter and summer, and so all this. Who in the trade business know what is a contractive cycles, regular cycles, and Kuznets cycles, but there is also a huge cycles, because the largest cycles is contractive cycles. It's a 55 years, and but there is also huge cycles called A wave. So the huge cycles bring our world to centralization, and centralization was for 500 years. From the first industrial revolution, we became more and more centralized. Centralized media, centralized government, centralized production, centralized distribution. But now, thanks to decentralized technology, which we know it as a blockchain, or decentralized ledger, but blockchain knows more as a term, we enter to the decentralized age. So when everything starts to be decentralized, so we are witness of starting of decentralization of everything. And everything will be decentralized, not only a payment system or banking, which is start already, but it will be decentralized. Everything will be decentralized government, decentralized production, decentralized media, everything decentralized. So we just want to focus on this panel to understand if the entertainment industry might be decentralized, in which way, and how, and who is the beneficial of this disruption era. And for this, we have just a fantastic, I think, panel, and we're just fantastic panelists. And let me start to introduce our panelists from our partners. So the first is Ditto Music. So Lee Parsons, he is a CEO and founder of Ditto Music. Ditto have distributed over 150,000 artists, and worldwide, and including Change the Rapper, Stormzy, Sam Smith, and Ditto is ranked top 50 fastest growing global company, and have more than 100 staff in 20 offices worldwide.
Very expensive.
Yes, I can't achieve yet.
They drink.
I can't achieve yet, but I am trying to do it. So then our famous partner, Landmark Entertainment, Sam Chi, he's owner and CEO of the Landmark Entertainment. You know the Landmark Entertainment for a lot of things. It is a well-known company, but Sam is He have a background on financial. He was a VP of JP Morgan, VP Asia, but he also did a lot of stuff for Korean. You know, Old Boy film. So his first production, which changed Korean film industry. He also make more than 20 movies globally. There are a lot of stuff with the TV series and the successful TV series, also K-pop, and he also do co-production with Simon Fuller, American Idol, Michael Bay, Transformers, and have all stuff of entertainments from theme park to animation and graphics and all other things. Sam Low, our guest from Malaysia. So Sam is entrepreneur. He is a founder of a Desto, the revolutionary, innovative mobile blockchain financial technology company with a mission to tribalize a financial world by offering a cashless commerce product and the objective to connect as many as possible, the 2 billion unbanking people who have no access to, and onwards as connecting disruptive and innovation tech to shift the new economic paradigms. So we will understand how it will help to entertainment business. And Max is he's very well known in crypto world person. He was selected by Ernst & Young to one of the Asian top 100 fintech contributors in 2016, and based in Singapore since 2010. Max is currently co-founder and CEO of Anquan Capital and co-founder of Zelica Research. There is a deep technology company that is building scalable private blockchain for global marketplace. So we will understand how it can be helpful also for, and one of the product helpful for entertainment business. So let's start with you.
Yeah, that was on the list.
Yeah. So, why should music industry care about blockchain, and what should musician be doing about blockchain?
All right.
Start with music.
So, can I stand up? I'm gonna.
On the knees, or
how are we doing? All right, everyone, all right, Singapore.
Can we?
How are we doing?
We need a slide. Yeah.
No, forget it. So I don't need the slide. It's fine. It was a terrible. Keep the one on my face up. It's a really good photograph. I've got 5 minutes to explain what the blockchain is, and then I've got 5 minutes to explain why the music industry needs a blockchain. So I'm going to be pretty quick. Is anyone? People know what the blockchain is? Anyone bought crypto? Anyone bought Bitcoin? A couple of people probably bought in January, like me. So, can anyone tell me what the currency of the blockchain is? It's not Bitcoin. You didn't say Bitcoin, but it's trust. And trust is a system that we're already using from day to day. So, as an example, when I went in and bought a cup of coffee this morning, I go to the barista, I say, okay, this coffee says it's fair trade coffee and it's from New Zealand. I then have to trust him with that information. And then I decide whether I give him $5 or not. But what if I don't trust that information? How do I kind of work it out? So the next thing I go for is, well, what's the reputation of the person telling me that this coffee is free trade and it's from New Zealand? So how can I find out his reputation? The old school way to find out someone's reputation is to ask someone. So I ask the person next to me, person A, what's the reputation of this barista? He says, he's okay, he's a cool guy, he's fine. I asked person B, what's the reputation of this barista? It's a girl. She said, well, he took me out, he didn't call me again, I don't like this guy. So now I've got mixed reviews from from B and C, but then how do I trust their reputation of the information they're giving to me? It's really difficult. I still don't know if this is fair trade coffee or where it came from. So the next thing I can do, I could look into the packaging of where the coffee came from to make sure this information is correct. But the packaging is sent from the company. I could spend weeks or months trying to work out the records of where the coffee came from. Does the company send it through? But in reality, I'm never going to know from most of the products that we buy if the information they're giving us is correct. And the reason is because it's all a big centralized database of information that they're just giving to us without any trust or reputation. So imagine I go back in 5 years when everyone's using the blockchain. blockchain means that I can know I can probably just scan my phone up, get a QR code, and see every transaction of that coffee bean from when it was made in the ground to the coffee now. Now, how do I do that? Well, that's pretty much exactly what blockchain does. Basically, in the smallest sense of the word, blockchain is a bunch of chains, is a bunch of blocks on a chain. Every block has information inside it, like this. Information is stacked on top of each block. The difference with a blockchain is you can't change information in a block. You can only add changes to the block. So if you've got one block here, every change that is made through the cycle of that product's life is going to be recorded. So you can't alter it. I can't, you know, the person who, when that coffee bean is made, they can't go in and say, okay, we'll take this out, we'll take this out. It's completely transparent information. Now, if you're not a fan of coffee, imagine what that means to just simple things like buying a house or buying a car. You can go into the showroom and the guy could say, look, this is a great car, and you take it home and it falls apart. You've just got to trust the guy. But with the blockchain, you'll be able to look up everything from the tire to the window, and you can see the whole life cycle, and it's completely trusted on the network. So why is this important for the music industry? The music industry notoriously is not the most trustworthy industry. All right? They've made a business of the last, 100 years of being completely non-transparent and not paying people. Warner Brothers, from 1930 to 2016, claimed the rights to Happy Birthday. So every time that song was played in a Hollywood film, Warner Brothers were making money, millions per year. They had no rights to the song at all. No one checked. So they made millions, hundreds of millions of pounds they made in the last 80 years claiming they own the Happy Birthday song, but when they actually looked it up, there wasn't really a good enough record to find it. In places like Brazil, where we have an office in Brazil and stuff, 80% of airplay royalties don't go back to the people that wrote the song. It basically, all the radio stations report to one central unit, and then they decide who gets the music, and the money, and who do you think gets the money? The major labels. So if you're an independent artist, and we deal, Ditto deal with thousands of independent artists, the chances of you getting your money, it's about 50% of the money actually goes back to the people that wrote the song. And that's why, we're all here, and that's why we're so fascinated by what blockchain can do for the industry. Ditto building our blockchain, when I first heard about the blockchain, I was in the Philippines, and I was like, this is going to take out all third parties. And I phoned my brother and said, we're completely screwed. Because we're a third party, and if we don't do something, Spotify will build a blockchain, and they will just, because blockchain is just you and me directly transferring something to each other without a third party. But then we thought, what can we actually add to the space on the blockchain? So smart contracts. A smart contract means that if there's 20 people on a song, from the person making the tea to the producer, they can all be registered on that smart contract. And just like I told you about the coffee, everything from that song, from that point, is recorded just like a supply chain. So you can see everything that happens to that song. If someone tries to change the record of that song, their reputation, it's all recorded, and it probably won't happen. So that's why we're so fascinated by the blockchain, and that's why I think you guys are awesome for kind of turning up today, because all early adopters of anything are going to make the most out of it, and we're all early adopters in this. It's a really new technology. And I'm really looking forward to taking more questions with everyone else. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting with coffee bean.
I actually do own 2 coffee shops.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't know where the beans come from. That was a problem.
So, Sam Chi, please tell how will blockchain affect the entertainment as a whole, including sport and films?
Sure. Alexander mentioned it at the very beginning. This decentralization, which is key element, a key thing about blockchain, is decentralization. And from there, Lee mentioned about not having space for a third party anymore. We will get there soon, but we still need your expertise. So you will be here for a long time. So, yeah, it's more than anything else. Whether it's movies, music, or dramas, even sports, e-games, they're all still controlled by those high-level people from Disney to Warner Brothers. They own it, right? No particular person or anyone in the world can be participating in that particular movie or music. They participate by seeing the movie or listening to the music, but they cannot really have hands-on or be participating, as we know. And then it's different from crowdfunding because it's giving anyone anywhere in the world any amount. We give them opportunity to participate in our movies. So it's not just entertainment, but blockchain as a whole will change the entire landscape of the next thing. Please consider blockchain as the big next computer, and through it we have software called smart contract, and then from there, what we will be doing, we'll be creating digital assets. That's going to be the key. Anything that we will do will be digital assets. So through smart contract, we will be able to see the entire transactions like Lee mentioned. Now, having said that, coming back to the question about how entertainment industry will be affected, let's say we want to create a next big Hollywood movie. Yeah, we don't have to be Disney to make the next big movie. We don't have to be the Paramount to make next Mission Impossible. It could be anywhere. It could be you, me, because anyone can participate in that movie through blockchain, through decentralization. We can go a little bit further and more detail into it, but that's what it is. There are many wonderful things such as transparency, not having third parties going forward or anything, but I think that decentralization is the key thing where anyone can have their voice into any of the major products out there.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's interesting. Samuel, how we are now know that blockchain, a lot of fintech start with fintech and payments and how the blockchain, fintech and payment can help entertainment industries.
Oh, okay. In fact, blockchain itself is a currency of trust, right? So basically, we do not need a middleman to actually verify this transaction, and blockchain is borderless. So basically, especially for the entertainment industry, I'm not from the entertainment industry, but basically, if this blockchain is, I know that for payment into blockchain, into entertainment industry will be good for example, royalties. So all the participants in the value chain will get paid all the way from songwriters, producers, everyone in the value chain. Each time the live streaming is paid, that smart contract will allow payment to be given to everyone participating in the value chain. So it is very transparent, and it also gives a lot of people somewhere who lives remotely from, say, in Indonesia or Cambodia, or you can reach out to people in Brazil, people who doesn't have a credit card. They can actually pay with the crypto, right? And everything is transparent. So crypto payment is actually the way to pay in the future, especially when it comes to entertainment. I think this is a huge disruption for entertainment industry.
But I want to add and asking you, you're a fintech guy. I think the payment and cryptocurrency will give also opportunity to pay for the small piece of the content.
Correct.
Let's say if I watch the film and I start to watch the film maybe 5 minutes and say, I don't like it. And I can pay just for 5 minutes.
Correct.
So nano payment.
Yep.
Also, why the model of viewing in YouTube, they pay only when you just reach more than 1,000 view. Less than 1,000 views they don't pay because they cannot pay through the advertisement model, because they cannot pay for one view because it's only 0.00 cent.
Yep.
And the credit card charge for the transaction, some credit card charge was on transaction $2 and more. So it's impossible to do it, this payments. But with cryptocurrency, you can do this. You can stream, if you just subscribe for Spotify, you didn't need to pay $5, $10, depending on the country. But I don't need to pay $10 maybe because I maybe listen just 1 or 2 songs per month, and 3 songs. I don't need to subscribe for Netflix for the whole library. I just maybe need to watch maybe episode of the movie, my lovely episode, or just I want to listen just chorus of the song. So it's no existing model of payment for such usage of the content, where I can read just article in the newspaper, but I need to subscribe for National Time for this. And it's this is give a lot of opportunities. Yeah. Also, it need a lot of opportunity. Can you imagine how many songs globally was viewed less than 1,000 in YouTube, and they was monetized, but it was not reach 1,000. So it's a long queue for the money which they collect, but don't pay. They say, okay, we will pay you when you reach 1,000. So this is a lot of this long tail, which is unpaid for as a royalties. So this, I think, it's also huge opportunities to blockchain, fintech,
yes,
correct, entertainment, composer and creators.
Yes, so adding to what Sam was saying, his key point is how everything is very transparent. And you mentioned earlier, not only music, I think entertainment as a whole has not been very transparent in many ways. And we will see that changing completely from such as production cost. You know, sometimes production cost just disappears, or it goes up by 50% out of nowhere, right? Now we have ways to make sure that production cost is actual production cost, so we can give it back to the investors who actually own now the movie, right? You know, I don't know about Russia, Alexander. For a long time in Korea, we had production costs that's set aside for paying actors their drinking bills and all that. Why? He said, so we want to change completely of the nature of how entertainment things will work. And one of the main things that I think will be very, very big, could be biggest, is legalized gambling. For instance, U.S. just passed law where people can actually start betting on football games and basketball games. It's all legal. Now, when that happens, people inside the betting who have a much better betting information now is able to get there and get huge return, which was the case last year. Now, through blockchain technology, we can stop all that. So everyone has a fair game. Everyone has a voice. That's going to be key.
Is good, because my next question to Max about how blockchain in gaming industry, or mobile gaming, or gaming in general, how they can make a synergy, or how blockchain can help or disrupt, or both.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. So I think that blockchain, firstly, I'd just like to say to everybody in the audience, because I'm not sure if there are that many people who are so familiar with blockchain, that in terms of technology, it's like we're in 1996 with the internet. So you've got to remember, first of all, that the blockchain technology is still in experimentation mode, and it's 1996. So we've got a long way to go yet. Okay.
1993, before TCP, because we have no standardization yet for blockchain.
Right. So, as somebody that has been involved in the industry and having built blockchain infrastructure, I have to say that I think the entertainment industry, in all of its guises, is a really excellent use case for the blockchain. And our public blockchain platform, so later on, if people are interested, I'll explain that there are private blockchains and there are public blockchains. So things like Bitcoin, Ethereum are public blockchains, and Zilliqa, our cryptocurrency platform, is a public chain. Now, in terms of public blockchains, the key thing that we need to overcome is scalability or transaction rate. And today, things like Ethereum and Bitcoin can only process 7 transactions a second. When you consider that on a normal day, Visa or MasterCard are processing 10 to 15,000, we've still got a long way to go. Now, the reason why gaming has become a very popular application for our coin is that there are several different reasons. Firstly, in terms of the gaming industry, which of course is enormous, there are a lot of consumers who night and day are playing games online. And on a blockchain, one of the key advantages is the cost of playing a game, okay, is extremely low. Now, in terms of Zilliqa, the reason why it's becoming a platform that a lot of games, including Ethereum, which some of you may have heard of in the room if you're gamers, our chain has become the platform for that game for a number of reasons. Firstly, the gas fees, or the fees that miners have to pay in order to make transactions happen on a blockchain, is very low. So the cost of playing is low. Secondly, there is I'm not a gamer, but I've recently been discovering that there are all sorts of secondary markets where gamers can buy and sell accessories. So in those secondary markets, there's a lot of fraud. The blockchain, as our friends here have already been explaining, can help us to overcome that fraud by validating the authenticity of a sword that you might buy in a secondary market. Thirdly, these things called smart contracts, which were described earlier. So smart contracts are just computer programs that sit on top of a blockchain that allow us to program business logic that says that when something happens, I pay Alex, that much, and he then pays me back a lot more.
You noticed the T-shirt, eh?
And so smart contracts allow for very rapid processing, very efficient processing of a gaming transaction, for example. So all of these benefits really do help to motivate the mass use of the blockchain.
Thank you very much. And thank you that you mentioned my major focus now of the mining. So we are largest in the world mining facility for Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, video rendering, and data mining and everything. But I want to cover the sport, because so why mining and sport? I want to cover the topic about mining and sport. We're just looking for sport, how blockchain can be beneficial for sport, because we're looking now with a team and try to find the problem, because sport, so many people in sport, soccer, they running, jumping, running for nothing. We need to monetize their energy. So we want to build something which will generate the sportsmen. If they will more move, run, jump, they will mine some hash, cryptocurrency. That's we're working how to make a sport beneficial. So this will be very revolutionary. So they will have a double, not only just per price, but if they will run, they will mine. Yes, we do it with gamers also. If they game, they mine. Their computers mining. at that time, the passive mining of computers, the chain of computers for mining. So if you're interested, you can join this company, our company also. But you mentioned that it's gamers, frauds, but gamers known very well in blockchain world for sector which start to use first tokens. And these tokens became a good driver for the video games industry, for esport video games industry. So my next question to Sam, what do you think about tokenization and how Landmark look forward for tokenized entertainment industry?
Well, yeah, we mentioned about decentralization, and Max mentioned about how Zilliqa's coin can, because of this system that they have created within blockchain, that how people can experience at much lower cost and be able to experience high quality is what we're trying to do as well. For instance, the Landmark token that we have is like token of token in a way, because we're trying to make sure that we cover all bases in entertainment, where our token can be used for investing in, like you say, someone from Cambodia or someone from anywhere can participate in like K-dramas or K-pop. I'm sure there are millions of people, especially here in Singapore and Southeast Asia, they love to participate in creating their own boy global band. And then they are able to do so because of this decentralization and also the transparency, and because we are coming in as actual producer of the group.
Or sport.
Or sport. Yeah. And then not only the gambling we mentioned earlier, but sports, sports teams, the sports games. There will be so many things that we can participate by through, using not only Landmark token, but just using this tokenization, because they will be the main medium of getting things done, being able to start. Because blockchain, as we mentioned earlier, is the like big computer, and in order for blockchain to work, we need to reward all these players, the miners. And in order for us to do that, we need to have legitimate currency or crypto that is able to start, or at least not only pay but reward all these players properly, like Alex mentioned about running and all that. So not only sports is in anything that has to entertainment, but not only that, anything that we will encounter going forward, we will be able to find the right currency, crypto, that can find a way to reward all these players.
Thank you. Lee, what's Dito doing on blockchain?
Right now?
Yeah, tell something. Why are you here? Tell something.
Why are we here? Like, how many people here are musicians? I don't know what the split is. 1, 2, well, that's 3, 4. Not many. 5.
Composer is. Can composer build music?
No, you are a proper musician, actually. The same problem is in the music industry. I think it's worse than a lot of industries. Like I kept saying before, transparency. Everyone I know who was signed to a major label 10 years ago doesn't have any money now, and didn't see any money. You'll usually get a big advance, and then you won't even see a receipt for anything. My head of Brazil was the head of one of the big major labels there, and he said they would literally go through someone's accounts and just delete columns before they gave them their money. It was just like a thing they did, and they said they'd have people come in trying to get money, and they employed one guy who would just sit in the foyer and just say, oh, come and have a cup of tea, here you go, here's a new pair of shoes, go on, off you go. So their whole system is made up of not paying people. For Ditto, we deal with independent artists like Chance the Rapper and all the guys who, aren't on a label and want to make money and are mostly very entrepreneurial. So we come from a different, we want, total transparency, but obviously they don't. It's a nightmare for them, so that's what I'm building.
Thank you. And Samuel, you know very well which means crypto exchange. crypto exchange now it's a big engine for the cryptocurrency and coins. Do you think, and you are deeply in this crypto exchange, do you think the coins, remember the time when David Bowie go up IPO? It was 1998 or something. He was went IPO for 20 something million pounds. Then he make a buyback. But if we will tokenize now artists or sports or content, films, dramas, songs, maybe composers also, I don't know yet. So how do you think this is coins? If let's say we go with the coins of Adel coins, so do you people will trade with Adel coins or tokens? Not sorry, not coins, token.
I think this is a huge market, in fact, in terms of...
Or Chelsea now on
Yeah.
sales. Roman Abramovich want to sell the Chelsea.
Yeah.
So we need to maybe give some advice. Who is the lawyers here? It's a job for you.
He likes Chelsea, so he's
Yeah, I like Man United right now.
No Man United fans in Manchester, let me tell you that.
Okay, now shares of Chelsea go down.
Okay. Now, I think this is a huge market. Why? Because in terms of contents, right? Actually, crypto exchange is one of the best place, most transparent place where you can actually monetize contents. So, and there are two types of exchange. Since we are talking about exchange here, we know in Singapore we have this Singapore Stock Exchange, right? That is a centralized exchange. Now, with blockchain, we are moving towards the decentralized exchange. It's not perfect yet, but however, with more participation into this exchange, then we have more peer-to-peer transaction. And this is where we are going towards maybe the next 5 to 10 years. Say, for example, in the financial industry, imagine buying Apple stock without going to New York Stock Exchange. You could buy from another stockholder, all right? You do not really need a settlement account with NASDAQ or anyone. So basically, that is where we are heading towards. Say
Which crypto is the next Apple?
which
Which
crypto?
Which one can we buy right now? Zilliqa.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
everyone always asks
Yes.
me.
Yes. Yeah, in fact, Zilliqa is a very good idea, and it is very famous, in fact, in this region. Yeah. So basically, imagine if you have this you have this IP rights, which is on the blockchain, and you like to monetize it. You can actually put on an exchange either as a forward contract. Example, this is nothing new, but we can actually put it like a forward contract, if you know what it is, like a futures contract, 1 year. Based on this forward contract, you can actually monetize it by doing fundraising. All right, you can do crowdfunding through it. People who buys into this token are able to actually use your services. Example, you can also gain rights in it can be part of a value chain, can be paid while you're selling your content to the public, and while people are streaming into your content, then you'll be able to get paid as well as an investor and also as a user. So just now, Alex touched a little bit about these nano payments as well. You can, so because every crypto there are many decimals. So basically, some has 6, some has 7, some has 8, some has a lot more, right? So basically, you can make nano payments for those things, and you can also buy and sell on these exchanges. Exchanges is very, very important because that also help regulators to regulate the anti-money laundering regulation especially. And in fact, blockchain is the way to curb corruption, curb anti-money laundering activities, in fact. So that's where, for example, like what Sam has touched about, these production costs suddenly 50% went missing for some dodgy bill, right? And this as far as I know that where a country where I come from have a lot of these dodgy bills. You know, movie production can be used as a way to hide your money. You know, to clean your money. So, but in crypto, you can't do that because every single transaction is so transparent and can be used as an evidence against money laundering. So basically, that is one.
So you mean the gray money will never come anymore to entertainment industry, but
90% of the music
It's
industry.
not good, huh?
90% of the music industry is drug money, especially in Brazil.
But can you imagine, like, you know what is crowdfunding? But crowdfunding people now just help to independent artists or any creators just donate something and then receive maybe the first CD or first DVD. But now they can donate and became as shareholders and became a trade with this token of Adele or new Metallica or new Avatar film movie or Transformer movie or American Idol or Voice, or it doesn't matter. I mean, so they will trade, and some it will be fell, some will became like iconic, like Dark Side of the Moon or Godfather or Old Boy films. It will be stay forever. So my question to Max, it will be more a business, so people can do a business, or it's more gamification, or both?
I think ultimately it will become both.
Entertainment of entertainment.
Entertainment of entertainment. But you know, my hope is that blockchain platforms are going to actually help to foster a whole new set of companies. You know, just like the internet spurned Google, for example, and a whole bunch of incredible tech giants that didn't exist 20 years ago, right? My hope is that public blockchain platforms and private blockchains are going to help to generate brand new businesses that don't exist today that will become future tech giants. So I genuinely believe that will happen, but you know, the technology needs to mature. But also what needs to happen is that the adoption of this technology needs to become more widespread. So what do I mean by that? Let me just explain. I'm a wine collector. I'm really passionate about wine. So
I will bring one wine from Russia next time to you.
Ah, perfect. I look forward to that very, very much. But a few weeks ago, I happened to be in Hong Kong, in one of Hong Kong's top restaurants, and I chose a bottle of wine with some happened to be a bunch of Zilliqa investors, a very nice bottle of wine. And because I'm a wine nerd, I looked at the bottle of wine when it arrived, and I looked at the sommelier and I said, this is a fake wine. And he said, it is absolutely not. This is one of Hong Kong's top restaurants, by the way. And the reason I knew was that there was a full stop missing between the names on the label of this wine. And I challenged him. And he didn't believe me because he was an arrogant sommelier. But always happens in Hong Kong. In the end, he opened the bottle of wine, and I can tell you it wasn't what was in the wine. And I decided after that I needed to do something about this. Okay, so I've been talking to some very big names in the wine industry, and actually, whether it's wine or perfume or black pig ham or anything where we need to see provenance and traceability, the biggest issue is that there's a long supply chain in all those industries, and there are people on those supply chains that do not want to be part of a blockchain because they're bad actors, they make a lot of money, and actually they don't want their bad practices to be exposed. So this means... maybe one example. Right. We see so many of these instances where trying to get people to adopt a blockchain for supply chain, for example, it's a fantastic use case. However, there are people who never want to join that chain because it exposes them. So you either need a very powerful player. So let's say, I don't know, I'll keep away from the names that you guys all know in case there's anybody in the audience. You know, if we're in the rubber industry, someone like a Pirelli's got to say, you want to be a supplier to Pirelli, you better be on my blockchain, or you need a regulator that's going to do that. So anyway, long-winded answer to your question, but I think it's about creation of new businesses and adoption of blockchain.
But it's gamification or it's a serious business. So we have to be serious, or
Serious
it's a
business.
serious
Business.
not entertainment.
No, I think entertainment.
We have to create new entertainment.
I think entertainment is already a really very
Talking
serious
sector.
business.
So I have a partner. We invest in one good company together, and he made now. He's very good tech guy. He did a lot of things globally. You use this service. He create now adaptive media company. Let's say it's a music. They change the tempo when you run or you stay. They change the tempo. Still keep the key, but change the tempo. And we're working now together to make it a mix of music when you are streaming. So if you don't like so much drums, you can listen the same music, the same stream, but with less drums or more guitars or cut the voices, everything, streaming. And it's possible because of blockchain. Because blockchain did decentralize stamps, and then it's mixing to adaptive to you. Now it's only MVP because we waiting for the 5th generation of the network, because we need for many startups, we need 5th generation of network. But this is example. So how do you think you will be, now you represent artists or songs, but can represent stamps? So open IP platform, which is possible with a blockchain, stamps, so I can mix and create and do my personal track when I listen with Pink Floyd or with Adele, just my own listening. So this is like a stamp distributors.
Gee, just on that point, we were.
I asked for
Thank God Max's job did.
No, let me just jump in for a second, because earlier we were talking about gaming, for example, and what blockchain has made possible in gaming, which was impossible before, is that if I'm playing 2 different games and I want to import a character or an accessory from one game to another, using the blockchain I can now do that really easily. So this kind of cross-fertilization is very powerful. So what you're talking about is incredibly powerful.
Sorry. Can we get some questions?
It's called Internet of Content. You know, Internet of Things, like interconnecting things with small semiconductors. The world, like my micro ovens, with my refrigerator, with film, with my boots and everything. But this will be interconnected content, and stamps and gates and characters can be interconnected, and they will be interconnected with each other. So you can listen, you can move your character from one game to another game, and at the same time you can move with some stamps and mix Metallica with Adele.
Sounds terrible.
So I think it's a good opportunity for Dito.
No, like we were saying, like Max was saying, there's so many avenues, new avenues. Just the data, like we were saying before, data mining at the moment. All our data goes to one central place, and then it's sold to other companies, and we don't even know, what data that is. Musicians can now track their own data, choose if they want to sell that data, see where that data goes. There's going to be so many new instances of businesses, just like you said, like stems in the music industry. That it's pretty exciting.
So the music can be with open IP, and can be, it's not need to download or something. It can be streaming, and then open IP, you can just, in real time, doing your music, or music can be predictable. or media can be predictable. According to your behavior, your song can be in the nighttime like more acoustic, in the
Yeah, I
daytime.
think Alexa are doing that. Amazon are doing that now, right? Or there's an algorithm for your moods and stuff, like programmed through Alexa on what music you listen to when you come in.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
They work with existing
It's
track.
not going to be as good as
Yeah,
your idea. Alex,
they
by the
doc.
way.
Yeah. Okay, so Dita, not in this business with the stamps.
I
Yet.
might be afterwards if I can understand it. Could we ask some questions, you reckon? Because we haven't got long.
If someone you want to have a question, one our speaker want to have a question. If someone have a questions to speakers,
Anyone. Everybody understands the blockchain. That's
we have 5 more minutes.
no crickets.
No questions. No
Come
question
on.
yet, at least. But I'd like to ask speakers if you want to add something to this panel. We have like 4 more minutes, so please tell something.
Good time to buy Bitcoin.
Max, please mine Bitcoin.
It's a good time to buy.
Yeah,
It will be 10,000 till the end of this year.
That's good. Crystal ball. Be nice.
I would just say to people in the audience that don't take your opinion on cryptocurrencies or blockchains from what you read or hear about. The biggest manifestation of blockchain today are cryptocurrencies. So go buy some. Sort of enjoy the experience, which in itself can be a little bit nerve-wracking today, but try it out. Because I've always thought it's bad form to have an opinion without trying something yourself first. So go try it, and there's plenty of information on the internet that tells you how you buy, Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. Buy a little bit and see how it works, and then you'll begin to understand how blockchain will really change all sorts of industries.
Yeah, let me jump in and just add. I'm a rock and roller guy. I like rock music. And about 20 years, maybe 30 years ago, since Lee, works with guys like Chance the Rapper, there was one genre I just couldn't grasp, which was rap. First of all, I didn't know what they were saying. I think they were just saying things to, to some rhythm attached to it, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. I wasn't able to grasp it. So by having kind of not rejecting, but not embracing it, for the 20 years, the things I missed out just because of my action was fun, excitement, and beautiful girls. I just missed out on all those three things because I simply did not like rap music.
20 years, no
Yeah,
girls.
so, well, they listen to rock and roll music with me, Lee. So,
Not that good in rap music.
so when EDM came on to scene 10 years ago, I'm a little bit older, so I was out there until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure I am able to embrace. So I didn't want to miss out on the 20 years of fun, excitement, and girls. So, blockchain will touch you like no other industry has before. I know smartphones, internet, computer, they're just, we cannot live without them, but blockchain industry will touch you like it will, we never have experienced. So like Max said, we don't want to say go buy Bitcoin or whatever, but just try to experience what it is. Open to it, because cryptocurrency is, part of blockchain, but it's not blockchain, right? So once you kind of understand what blockchain is and how it's touching us in areas like we never imagined, I think it'll be good for you to kind of, just engage and open to it and listen to it, because it's going to change the world.
Yeah,
It already has.
Like you were saying, it is like the internet in 96. Is that my arm? It is like the internet in 96. It's not going away. And you've all got a chance now to be one of the first adopters. And the first adopters in MySpace became, millionaires. The first people to use any system usually rise to the top of whatever their industry is. So, and it's such a simple, it took me 10 minutes to explain it, but it's so simple, isn't it, the blockchain? It's just a supply chain, really. fucking we go. But once you look into it, it's really simple. So please go home and research it and buy some Zilliqa and some of his t-shirts.
Samuel?
Yeah, I think today's discussion is really good. We hope that this can kickstart the next for the next event as well. So that you can have more blockchain style conversation into this, because blockchain enables monetization on every single level of a creation of a content. So basically, it cannot be done with today's conventional system. Just simply cannot be done. By the time you go listing your content, there's no exchange for you to list. So basically, having a space, a place where you can barter trade contents or barter trade IPs or whatever. You can do that right now with blockchain peer-to-peer system. So basically, this is just going to continue to grow. Internet of Content, something I learned as well this afternoon, other than Internet of Things. So basically, this is going to change everything. This is not just 1996, it's 1993, like what you said, we still have a long way to go, for adoption.
Max?
Yeah, I think something that Lee was just saying, which is very important, but I have a slightly different view on it, is that, you know, I'm sure everybody in this room uses the internet knowingly or unknowingly, probably about 20 hours of the day. But how many people in the audience can stand up and explain to me how the internet works? Right. We use it. We don't necessarily need to know exactly how it works, but we need to understand the benefits of it. And back in the mid-90s, that's what people started to do. They started to understand the benefits of the internet rather than figuring out how it works. So if it confuses you, don't get wrapped up in the tech. Just understand the benefits that it will bring to our lives, because actually, as the guys were saying, in about 3 years' time, you'll be using applications and you won't even know there's a blockchain underlying it, but you'll be paying less, or the transaction will be super efficient, and that's the benefit it will bring you. So focus on the benefit. Yeah.
Very good example with internet, but I can tell you, Max, so a lot of people, 90% of the people use benefit of airplanes, but still don't understand how this multi-tons heavyweight iron machine flying, but they still fly and still have a benefit. So we don't need to understand how it's work if we don't need to understand, but we need to understand the benefits. And I want to thank to our pioneers, because they are not only pioneers on the technology or the sector, but also pioneers as the speakers of the first blockchain panel forum on the All That Matters. And I strongly believe, and I wish, and I strongly believe that next year, when we will see each other, and you were witness of this, so Zilliqa will add at least 1 0 on the valuation.
Hopefully in the right direction.
Valuation. Data will jump to more deeply
billions.
to billions of transactions, and to blockchain, and
we'll be on the main stage next year.
landmark token will be
You will. Yeah, next year, maybe same time, we'll show you the movies that we did through blockchain token. Yeah, be good.
And of course, we will welcome to the entertainment sector our crypto exchange and crypto fintech mogul. Yes, yes. So that's many good ideas came from this stage today. So I have 2% and data already for the crypto creative exchange and internet of content also. So this is very helpful for all of us. So let's meet in 2019, and they will report
We're all fucked.
Annual report next year,
it
same
didn't take
time.
off.
What have you done in the
Because
past
there's
year?
everything
yeah?
transparency.
Bitcoin's gone down
There
to
will be no
$1,000.
fake news from these guys.
You'll see how transparent we will be next year.
Thank you very much.
We're all broke.
Thank you guys. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
Thank you.